Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel Everything Biology. And in today's episode I'll be discussing cells. So everything that's living has cells. So for example, plants and animals have cells. So this would be a generalized animal cell. This is the cell membrane, which controls what enters and leaves the cell. Now inside the cell membrane there's usually a nucleus, which is containing all the DNA of that cell. So there are many other things inside of a cell. There are more different things in a plant cell than an animal cell, but it doesn't mean that plants are more advanced than animals. So this part here is the cytoplasm, where a lot of chemical reactions take place, like photosynthesis. However, photosynthesis would not take place in an animal cell. So we also have small pieces of mitochondria inside animal cells. So they're just scattered around, and they're what turn food or glucose into energy that we can then use. So let's colour these mitochondria in yellow. Oh, no. So all these mitochondria are very vital in human cells. So now let's do the cell membrane green, cytoplasm green. Now that about covers the structure of an animal cell, but let's do a plant cell now. So, oh, wrong thing. So now let's put the size back up. So here, this would be our cell wall. So plants have a cell wall made of cellulose, seeing as they don't have any bones to structure them. So that's why all plant cells need a cell wall. Let's colour this yellow. So cellulose is a kind of sugar, because most sugars end in O's. Now, plants also have a vacuole somewhere in the center, so let's draw that in. Wait, let's retry draw that vacuole, because that vacuole did not come out very well. So let's say this is the vacuole. Then we need to fill that with a colour. Make sure the vacuole is black. Wait. Undo that. So let's make this vacuole green. Now plant cells also have cytoplasm, mitochondria, but they also have chloroplasts, which contain chlorophyll that changes sunlight's energy into glucose, food energy, which then we get by either eating other animals that have taken in glucose from plants, for example chicken eating grains, or by eating the plants directly, like by eating spinach or something like that. So let's draw some small chloroplasts. Draw some chloroplasts scattered around. Now this is one of the reasons why sun is essential for all life on Earth, because plants are essentially at the bottom of the ecosystem. Unless you're a Venus flytrap or pitch plant, in which case you eat insects. So now, did you know that they eat insects because pitcher plants and Venus flytraps usually live in marshes where there's not as many minerals as if you lived in soil? That's why they need more phosphorus and nitrates and stuff like that. So now let's do the mitochondria yellow again, because just to make it a bit easier for us to say mitochondria. So this, all the yellow represents mitochondria. Now let's make the chloroplasts lime green, because they are green. So here all the green is the chloroplast. Now we also need to do the cytoplasm, but for this I'll do the cytoplasm as blue. So this is an animal cell, and I'll label them in a second just so it's a bit clearer. So animals cell. Now I need to maybe stretch this out a bit more. This is an animal cell, and then here we have a plant cell. Now this cell would probably be in leaves, as it would have chloroplasts. For example, if I were to draw a root hair cell, which has a big surface area to absorb water, it would not have chloroplasts because the root hair is underground where there's no sunlight, essentially. So as you can see, cells are very different, and cells get oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide by diffusion. So diffusion is one of the ways that substances enter and leave the cells. So for example, in an animal cell, oxygen and glucose diffuse through the membrane into the cell. This is because there's more oxygen outside of the cell than in the cell. So diffusion moves from when there's more to less. So let's say there's lots of oxygen here. There's O2. And let's say there's none in the cell. The oxygen we want to spread out, so if we get rid of this oxygen, these two oxygens, because it wants to go from where there is more to less. So then the oxygen would enter the cell. Now it would work the same in a plant cell, except for the fact that if the plant cell was running low on carbon dioxide, which is what it needs for photosynthesis, then carbon dioxide would diffuse into the plant cell, and then oxygen would diffuse out, and glucose would diffuse out. So also in animal cells, CO2 or carbon dioxide is a waste product. So if there was lots of CO2 in the animal cell, then it would all have to diffuse out. So CO2, let's do 4 again because it's a nice number. Then this would all have to diffuse out, so half of it would diffuse out. So it would be CO2. There. And then some would there. So there. Now obviously I need to put this back on. So that CO2 would have diffused out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up and comment, like and comment. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Also, I almost forgot, the plant cell has a nucleus somewhere in the cytoplasm, so I'm just going to put it here.